Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will sound harsh at first, but if you sit through it, you'll start to see reality for what it actually is, not what you've been told to believe. Every man, at some point in his life, tries to make a woman happy. It's almost a rite of passage. You meet her, you fall for her, and somewhere deep inside you start believing that if you love her enough, protect her enough, provide enough, she'll finally relax into happiness. But what you don't realize is that most women today are not built for contentment. Not because they're bad, not because they're ungrateful, but because modern life has rewired their psychology for perpetual dissatisfaction. We live in an era where women are told they can be everything, have everything, feel everything, and never settle for less. Sounds empowering, right? Except when you stretch human expectations to infinity, satisfaction becomes mathematically impossible. The more options you believe you have, the less capable you become of feeling peace with what's in front of you. That's what's destroying female happiness. A woman can have a faithful man, a stable home, loving children, a decent life, and still lie awake at night wondering what else she could have had. You see, the curse of more has replaced the gift of enough. Her mother might have dreamed of a loyal husband and a roof that didn't leak. She has those things, but also a phone that shows her thousands of lives that seem better than hers. She scrolls through highlight reels of other women's vacations, marriages, faces and lifestyles, and she's subconsciously poisoned by comparison. She thinks she's observing other people. In reality, she's measuring herself against illusions. Every swipe tells her she's behind, she's missing out, she could have done better. And that's why she's restless, even when everything around her is fine. Men don't understand this because male happiness is often rooted in simplicity. A man doesn't need the perfect life to feel fulfilled. He needs purpose, respect, and peace. A woman, on the other hand, is conditioned to chase emotional highs. Love must feel like a movie. Success must look like a photo. Even self-love must perform well online. Her happiness is constantly interrupted by the belief that something, someone, is still missing. It's not your fault, and it's not hers either. It's the psychological trap she's been groomed into since childhood. To believe happiness lives just beyond the next milestone. That's why no matter how much she gets, she can't stop craving what she doesn't have. She might adore the man she's with, yet secretly compare him to an imaginary version she built in her head. She might enjoy her home, but still envy her friend's bigger one. It's a moving target, and men get caught in the crossfire trying to meet expectations that were never designed to be met. You'll notice that the more effort you pour into her satisfaction, the more her standards shift. It's not because she's cruel, it's because she's addicted to the chase of emotional stimulation. When peace enters the relationship, she interprets it as boredom. When consistency replaces chaos, she feels something is missing. Men think happiness is an emotion. For many women, it's a performance. She'll chase it, dramatize it, post about it, but rarely sustain it. And if you're the man standing next to her trying to fill the holes she won't even acknowledge, you'll end up drained, confused, and invisible. You'll start questioning yourself, what did I do wrong? Why isn't she happy when I've given her everything? But you didn't do anything wrong, you just walked into a psychological minefield that's been laid down by culture, media, and generations of women who were never taught that gratitude is the foundation of joy. She's not unhappy because of you. She's unhappy because she's lost the ability to feel satisfaction without validation. And that's a war no man can win. Let me tell you something that will make many men finally exhale. Her unhappiness isn't personal. It's not a reaction to you being not enough. It's a reflection of her inner landscape. Most modern women live in a psychological loop where peace feels like a threat. The moment life gets quiet, her mind starts whispering, "Is this it?" That single thought has destroyed more relationships than cheating ever could, because the minute she asks that question, she starts scanning for flaws in you, in herself, in the relationship, anything to justify the feeling that something's missing. This is where men make their biggest mistake. You start fixing. You take her words literally, thinking her complaints are requests. She says she's bored, you plan a trip. She says you don't listen, you buy her gifts. She says she feels unseen, you pour out your heart. But here's the bitter truth. She doesn't want the solution. She wants the sensation of pursuit, the emotional charge of being chased, comforted, reassured. Once you fix the problem, the story ends and she needs a new one. That's why even when things are good, she'll unconsciously start creating problems again. It's not sabotage, it's emotional oxygen. You'll notice a strange paradox in unhappy women. They crave stability but get restless inside it. They beg for affection but lose attraction when it's given too easily. They say they want honesty, then punish you for it. It's not hypocrisy, it's inner conflict. She's been taught her entire life to romanticize drama and call it passion. So when she meets a man who offers peace, her nervous system doesn't know what to do with it. It feels unfamiliar, unsafe. She mistakes calm for coldness, maturity for indifference. And here's where men start to break. Because your instinct is to care, to fix, to protect. You think if you just love her the right way, she'll finally be happy. But every time you succeed, she moves the goalpost. And the more you chase her happiness, the more she loses respect for you. Not because she's cruel, but because deep down she senses that you're trying to earn what should already be freely given. Appreciation. That's when she starts testing you. Emotionally withdrawing, comparing, nitpicking. Not consciously, but to see if you'll still bend. And you will, because you love her. But here's what most men never realize. When a woman feels you've become her emotional servant, she stops seeing you as her equal. She might not admit it, but respect dies in silence. And without respect, attraction fades. It's why so many men wake up one day next to the same woman who once adored them, only to find her cold, irritable, and distant. She'll say things like, "I just don't feel the spark anymore." What she means is, "I've drained the mystery, and now I'm bored with the man who tried to save me from myself." You see, women don't consciously want to be unhappy, but many have been trained to mistake emotional turbulence for meaning. They crave the roller coaster because it feels alive. Peace, gratitude, contentment, these are too still, too quiet. They don't create stories. They don't make her friends say, "Wow, you're so lucky." But here's the kicker. The very things that create lasting happiness are the ones modern culture taught her to despise. Dependability, simplicity, routine, gratitude. She wants the fire, not realizing that the same fire burns everything it touches. And when the smoke clears, she's left staring at the ashes of something that could have been peaceful, beautiful, and real. Have you ever noticed how a woman's dissatisfaction grows in direct proportion to how much she's loved? It's counterintuitive but true. The more secure she feels, the more her mind begins to wander. The female psyche, when untrained in gratitude, craves emotional friction. When things are stable, she starts to miss chaos, and when things are chaotic, she prays for stability. It's a pendulum that never rests. Men, on the other hand, find comfort in peace. They build empires from predictability. They find fulfillment in small victories, a quiet morning, a task completed, a partner who smiles when they walk in. But for many women, that kind of peace feels like death. The stillness exposes something they've spent their whole lives running from, themselves. Because when the noise fades, when there's no drama to react to, no problem to fix, no new desire to chase, what remains is the raw silence of being. And for a lot of women, that silence is unbearable. From childhood, girls are rewarded for being wanted, admired, chosen. Their identity forms around external attention. So when a man finally gives them unconditional love, when he stops chasing because he's already there, they start to lose their anchor. The validation fades and they panic. Does he still love me? Is he bored of me? Have I lost my magic? And instead of facing that inner insecurity, they manufacture a crisis to reignite attention. Suddenly, the peace you worked so hard to build turns into tension. The irony is, the happier you try to make her, the more she associates you with the exhaustion of that effort. Your love becomes a mirror reflecting her discontent. She looks at you and feels the weight of her own emptiness, and rather than confront it, she projects it onto you. You've changed. "You're not the same. You don't make me happy anymore." It's a script older than any dating app, older than civilization itself, and most men fall for it every time. That's when the dynamic flips. The man who was once confident becomes cautious. The man who used to lead starts apologizing for things he didn't do. He starts reading self-help books on how to understand women better, when all he really needed to understand was this: happiness that depends on someone else's effort will always self-destruct. You can't outgive a bottomless pit. You can't outlove someone who doesn't know how to sit still with their own heart. This is the hidden truth most men never learn. Women don't lose respect for you because you stop loving them. They lose respect when your love becomes desperate, when you start proving instead of choosing, when you turn affection into strategy. She senses it instantly, even if she can't explain it. That's when she starts pulling away, testing your resolve, trying to feel the edge she once admired in you. And you, thinking it's your fault, give even more time, more emotion, more of yourself, until there's nothing left but resentment. The cycle continues until one of two things happens. Either she leaves, chasing a new high, convinced she'll finally be happy with someone else, or she stays, emotionally withdrawn, treating you like the ghost of a feeling she once had. In both cases, the result is the same. She's still unhappy. Different scenery, same script. Because the real battle isn't between her and you. It's between her and the untrained mind that cannot recognize peace when it arrives. Here's the hardest truth a man will ever accept. Most women don't want happiness. They want excitement. And excitement doesn't last. It flickers, fades, demands renewal. That's why you'll see women abandon steady love for fleeting validation, trade loyal men for attention online, or chase emotional chaos while calling it chemistry. They are conditioned to seek stimulation, not stability. Happiness, in its quiet form, feels too plain. So even when she finds a man who brings peace, she'll unconsciously start sabotaging it just to feel alive again. She'll say she misses passion, but what she really misses is the uncertainty of being pursued. She'll claim she wants a deeper connection, but what she's craving is the high of unpredictability. That's why she'll test you even after she has you. She's not testing your loyalty, she's testing whether she can still move you emotionally. She wants proof that she still has power over your heart, because that power gives her identity. The moment she feels you're unmoved, calm, unbothered, her insecurity starts whispering, "He doesn't love me anymore." That's the paradox men need to understand. Women crave masculine strength, but are terrified of what true masculine composure feels like. When you stop reacting to her storms, when you stop trying to win her moods, she calls you cold. But what she's really saying is, "I don't know how to feel valuable without your emotional chaos." And that's tragic, because she's not chasing happiness, she's chasing proof that she matters. That's why women today can be surrounded by love, comfort, and abundance, yet feel perpetually empty. They have everything but meaning, and meaning only comes from responsibility, something modern culture has stripped away from them in the name of empowerment. True happiness doesn't come from being adored, it comes from carrying something sacred: duty, creation, gratitude, purpose. But most women have been told that to serve anyone or anything other than themselves is weakness, so they drift, consumed by self-importance, yet starving for fulfillment. And men? You suffer because you keep trying to feed that hunger with your devotion. You think if you love her harder, she'll finally rest. But she won't, because what she needs isn't more of you, it's less dependence on external sources for her sense of worth. Until she faces her own reflection without flinching, no man will ever be enough. That's why relationships today collapse under the weight of expectations that no human can sustain. Here's the truth most men never hear. You cannot save her from herself. You cannot protect her from the emptiness she refuses to acknowledge. You can only decide whether you'll drown with her or let her find her own way to shore. The happiest men aren't the ones who figured women out. They're the ones who stopped trying to fix them. They learned that peace isn't something you negotiate for inside a relationship. It's something you build within yourself and then guard like a fortress. If she can meet you there in gratitude, in mutual responsibility, in shared calm, that's rare, that's gold, that's worth keeping. But if her happiness depends on endless attention, emotional rescue missions, and constant novelty, then brother, walk away. Because no amount of love can fill a heart that's allergic to peace. And that's the truth men don't know, not because they're blind, but because they've been taught to serve where they should stand firm. Her happiness is not your assignment. Her satisfaction is not your project. The moment you accept that, you stop living as a repairman and start living as a man. So don't waste your life trying to build joy inside someone else's storm. Build it inside yourself and watch who's strong enough to weather it with you. Now, if this message hit you where it hurts but also where it heals, then do something about it. Share it. Let other men hear what you just heard. Like the video, subscribe, and support the channel through the link in the description, because what we're building here isn't hate, it's clarity. And clarity, my friend, is the first step toward freedom.